Autodesk Recap is a powerful tool that allows you to manage and combine your large laser scan and point cloud data files. Here we start with a simple interface and select the Open Scan File button. We'll browse to our scans. In this case, we have some exterior scans for a building, and we can open multiple file types here. Note that we support Faro, Leica, Topcon, many other file types, including TXT files. So a wide range of file types that you can use in this program. And really what this becomes is not only just a viewer, but you can also then merge these files together into a single file that can be used in downstream products like Revit, AutoCAD, and Navisworks. Here we're opening each individual scan file in one project, and you can notice that as the project is loading, I can interact with it. I can pan and zoom around as those scan files are being loaded in. Very efficient at doing this, and the first thing you'll notice is that not only are we getting the point data, but we're getting some color values here too. So in this case, this scan was captured with the photo or the RGB values being captured at the same time, and Recap can fully support those to give you a really high impact image when browsing and managing these files. It will just take several more moments to get the rest of the files loaded in, and as I said, we can continue to interact while that's happening. You'll notice that we're bringing in a large amount of data, and it's very efficient in doing it very quickly. That's the power of Recap. Once we get to a location, I want to show you some of the other features. We're going to work down the toolbar here to the left. The icons that are here are very easy to use, very simple interfaces for save, import, export, open files, so on and so forth. We can also affect the colors that I mentioned. Right now we're looking at the RGB values. We can quickly toggle to elevation, intensity, look at the normal colors from the scan, and also look at things from scan location. So again, very powerful, easy to use set of tools for managing and interacting with your scan files before you bring them into a design environment. We can also look at the point display. Right now it's set to 2. We can fatten those things up if we want a little more efficiency until we get to a certain location. We can reduce those all the way down and get a really fine texture to the image. We can also control the display of certain elements. We have the ability to toggle perspective and orthographic, and we can change the lighting that we see here. We can look at the sides that we're lighting up. In this case, we'll turn them off. And then we can also highlight different edges. So do I want to see the interior edge? Do I want them to be transparent? So on and so forth. So again, very easy set of tools to use. We have a section box here or a limit box that allows us to go ahead and edit how much of the scene we're seeing. We can rotate this box. We can grab an edge, modify it, bring it in and out. Very easy to use, whether we're editing an edge and rotating, or editing a face and making modifications. Here we are modifying those edges, simply selecting the face and bringing it in. We'll zoom in and we'll see the results. So I can section out my scans, be able to see what's behind the layers, if you will, and do that very easily with the limit box. And when we're done, we can just toggle that display off. Let's go ahead and use some of the navigation tools here as well. You'll see a bar down to the right. A lot of our typical navigation, we can fly, orbit, pan, zoom, look around, and there's even great shortcuts to show you how to use both keyboard shortcuts and mouse shortcuts in order to do some of these. So right now we're in the fly mode. We get to zoom around our site a little bit and interact with it. And then once we get in close to an area we want to be in, we can use some of the other navigation tools to go ahead and get really detailed. While we're here, let's use some of the measurement tools that we have. Distance tool, very easy to just go ahead and pick some different locations on the screen, and it gives us some feedback. We of course have angles and those type of things. The ability to do face-to-face measurements and angle distances. So here I'm just picking the same face, so the distances aren't going to be great, but we can get an angle, those type of things. And of course we can add notes. So if we see something in the existing conditions that have been scanned here that we want to note, Very easy to drop that note on here. In this case, you were asking the question, are these walls prefab? We'll scan and move around a little bit more here using the shortcuts when we can press down our mouse or wheel our mouse around. And I just want to get into an area where maybe I can take a closer look at things, see the detail. You can see that we've got some cars that have been scanned here, so on and so forth. And remember, I said it's not just for viewing these files, but we can save them too. So all the individual scans can now be saved out as one single file, and that's the RCP file format. We'll do that, and now we can get that for our downstream uses using the other tools in Building Design Suite. Here we are in Autodesk Navisworks, and this could be Navisworks Simulate or Manage. And we're going to go ahead and open up one of those RCP files that we prepared in Autodesk Recap. You'll notice how quickly this file loads here in Navisworks. So it's the same engine built into Navisworks, Revit, and AutoCAD that we saw earlier in the Autodesk Recap application. So here we are, and this is actually a larger file than we were dealing with before. This has all of the exterior files merged into it. And now, just like we would with any model inside of Navisworks, we can quickly navigate using the same tools. Here, I'm going to go ahead and zoom into an area and then use the walk tool. So we can walk around, and you'll notice that it does a really great job of being efficient when it is zooming around. So it goes into kind of like a bubble mode where the points get a little larger, and then once you stop, everything will start to process, and you'll get that really fine, high fidelity for the image. So we're just using the walk tool, we're walking around, we're looking around, we're doing everything we need to. So right here in our environment that we're using as part of the Building Design Suite workflow, again, the same experience, whether it's Revit, AutoCAD, or Navisworks. You can bring in these RCP files, and that is now the native file format that we're reading for point files or point clouds and LiDAR data inside of our Autodesk Building Design Suite workflow.